nowadays, whenever I sort of decide that I want to say hello to someone, the good part is, unlike earlier, we'd meet 2 months before the release of a film, show, whatever. And the conversation would be more about, I don't really know what you're doing. In the 1 minute trailer that I've seen, I'm trying to figure out what there is. You can't really speak too much about what you've done, but we'll still try and have a great and very engaging conversation. Thanks to the pandemic, that has all changed. Now we're able to actually see what our fantastic artists have actually put in their heart and soul in for all those months and days. And then you can actually reach some kind of a concrete discussion. Richa Chadha, you're all over Mumbai, might I add, first of all. Either on an audio podcast, either in your OTT shows, everywhere there's this picture. This is like fantastic for you, yeah? Congratulations.
Thank you. I mean, I think publicity is always in the hands of those who make the things. But yeah, I mean, it is a bit weird to see your face on all the bus stops.
This is the most, I think, that I've seen you around in Bombay. है
It's
ना?
possible, yeah. 100%, yeah. इतनी, हाँ, I mean, इनकी टक्कर का फिर only Amazon will be there in a few months for Inside Edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, like who else is spending on publicity? I don't know.
But it's working, and I think it's sweet. A lot of people put in a lot of hard work, yeah, and तुमने बहुत hard work सालों से choosing the right things और वो एक समय आता है ना, you like as a athlete you have a purple patch. Suddenly उसमें जो तुम shots मार रहे हो सब चल रहे हैं. I think it's all come together. तुम्हारा audio podcast भी is doing so well. You must really be. Are you checking Janam Patri, Kundali, Sitare? Are you checking all that right now?
No, not at all. Actually, I've been on a self-imposed 3 month break because in the second wave when the lockdown started, I started writing something.
Sure.
So I always wanted to write maybe a script, something that. I mean, I can say this to you because you'll get it. Remember when we met during the first time I remember meeting you and having a heart to heart was when we were promoting Tamanche. And we were talking about how we look like crap when we should be looking our best and how it was quite an honest conversation. I think what happens is as you spend more time in the industry and as you sort of, even as an artist come of age, uh, you want less and less disconnect from what your dreams are and what quality of work you want to do and the reality of the industry in which we work. So very decidedly, I've started to create, write, and perhaps produce and bring that for everyone because I think we are ready. But it's like uh, I don't know. Now there used to be these mythological shows we watched as kids, उसमें से हाथ में से तीर निकलता है. तो बचपन में बहुत अच्छा लगता है. You are very. So I feel that way about certain scripts even ones that I've been part of. I was telling someone aggressively, I've been telling people to watch Candy because I do think it's in the commercial space, but I also think it's a good commercial show. So for I mean, I just feel like I can't any longer choose bad scripts for क्योंकि date खाली है या जो भी
I like the fact that Candy has a backstory for almost every character. It's not just, so if you're watching it, you're thinking, okay, Ronit is very good as a performer. There's a great set off with Richa, and they've got their stories, but there's a lovely backstory with each character. And I think there's a lot of effort that's gone into the writing of it. पहले कहानी ये इसमें ऐसा दिखता है जैसे डेवलपमेंट स्टेज पे काफी टाइम लगाया ताकि वो पहुंच के फिर हर एक किरदार व्हेन दे से ना आपका लेयर्ड कैरेक्टर है एंड you should respect the artist whoever you hire and whoever you choose, and I like that about this. So kudos to your director and the script writer and the team. They really respected the artists.
Yeah, one of the main reasons for me to say yes to this show was because I vibed so well with the creative team, the DOP, the writers, the director. it's like we met each other and we knew, okay, no matter what the conditions of shooting, no matter what issues we face in terms of production, whatever logistical issues, we will end up with a competent show, you
Mm.
know. So I think that belief really made like a whole bunch of us like stick to each other, and I think that's the reason why a lot of the performances seem so natural, because we was like living in that little hill town together for 40 days. Of course, people were coming and going basis their
Yeah.
shoot timings, but जो भी था हम लोग we were spending a lot of time together.
Mm.
So and just properly vibing creatively, listening to music, discussing other stories, hanging out. I really think that helps. And of course, the writers, I think, are the real stars of the show. Devojit and Agrim, they really, they were really into it, which is nice.
No, it's also nice. I mean, it reminded me of so many semi-scary stories when we were young. You know that you want to become a detective with वो famous 5 Enid Blytons जो तुम बचपन में पढ़ते थे ना. Eventually ऐसी तो कहानियां निकलती थी, and I think another show like this that did very well, Stranger Things. You know, similar basis where there were a group of kids that go out to find these demons. Generally speaking, OTT sometimes can't do justice to storylines. You know, I was speaking to Saif the other day, and they'd done a horror comedy, and he said sometimes the audiences to capture for an OTT very difficult, and you just cannot, And here also, if I'm investing about 3.5 hours, it 99% of the time it's not in a day. So when you're acting now, are you thinking about that also? They might actually watch this show over 2 weeks. Yeah, एक हफ्ते बाद देख लिया, and they go back and forth. Is that sort of disconcerting also as an actor?
No, no, no. That doesn't happen actually. The reverse is true, both for this is only my second show after Inside Edge. So both for this and for Inside Edge, usually it's like it's released on Friday night, and on Saturday morning people are like, where is season 3? And
Binge
you're
watch
like,
कर दिया.
मैं 60 दिन लगा के मर मर के ठंड सह सह के 1 साल में कोविड में 3 महीना शूट करके आई, तुमने एक रात में वो it's like preparing a really good meal of a
Yeah.
7 course dinner. That's exactly what it is, and suddenly you see people have like swallowed it.
Yeah.
So I think that has to do with the way the culture is also promoted now. We have you noticed we've stopped saying I'm watching this show, I'm watching this movie. Even normal people who we call civilians are using terms like we are consuming content. है ना? We are consuming content. Are everything has become about consumption. So I feel I actually have the
Opposite.
yeah, I
But I, you know what I do? मैं buffet service करता हूँ. मैं एक टाइम पर 3-4 shows देखता हूँ. And I actually like that, because for me, I need to feel the character and I need to understand it. And sometimes, I like to get lost in that world. फिर मैं सोच रहा होता हूँ, okay, this is interesting, and that's where I found this. Sometimes when I'm watching that episode, I haven't liked everything. And then when I'm sitting on the third episode, I'll say, अरे ये मेरे को वहाँ अच्छा लगा. I actually go back and rewatch a scene. And for me, the whole process of OTT, I've now got used to.
No,
I
but
just
you are a creative person. You're an artist yourself. Hence, like you're approaching it very differently. I really don't know what's happening because people are watching on tablets, some are watching on their home theater, some are watching on the run from their parents because उसमें दो sex scene है तो phone पे देख रहे हैं. You never know in which way people are watching. But I do believe that fundamentally a lot about our watching would have changed when this pandemic or this
yeah, I was going to
enforced
say that. Do you think
captive audience thing is over.
Do you think that we're in for a forever change now? It no longer can ever go back to how it was, and there'll always be a hybrid model that exists.
I think that hybrid model was long in the coming, no? Especially for people in the Hindi film industry who just refuse to wake up and smell the coffee. Because the thing is, that, uh, I don't know how many times to say this. I'm not even a real stakeholder. I always considered myself somewhat fringe and someone who doesn't I don't really get invited to parties, and not like I really would go also, particularly barring the 3-4 people yeah. So the thing that is that the really big stakeholders need to wake up and realize that like the differential pricing. Those things are not,
Yeah.
they weren't working for a while,
Yeah.
right? That is why we had lesser and lesser and lesser footfall in
Yeah.
multiplexes. That's why we've had like closure of single screens. I really think again we need to take a cue from the south.
Yeah. Big time.
Pandemic, no pandemic. Look at their opening.
Yeah.
They've capped the price of the ticket at a certain price. So they are telling the consumer, hey, we care about you. We care that you can't spend more than this. But यहाँ उल्टा होता है. बहुत बड़ी फिल्म आती है holiday weekend पे तो 400, and everyone is like, you know, the super rich are like, okay, we are okay to spend $5,000 on an
Yeah.
evening
Yeah.
of movie watching, and most people are not like, um so many people on the among the junior artists from Candy. When Candy, we were filming Candy, Madam Chief Minister had released. So the next day they came to me with a Telegram channel saying, "Ma'am, ये क्या इस scene में धमाल कर दिया आपने?" And I'm like, "Oh यार, यहाँ तो सिनेमा हॉल ही नहीं है, तुमने पायरेट करके देख ली." They're like, "Ma'am, हम afford नहीं कर सकते." And it sounded so genuine, you know, that I didn't mind. So I really feel there is like there is a need to look at that pricing because it does a lot of damage, more damage than good. And I also feel we need to have more halls.
Yeah.
We don't have enough screens. We need to have more screens so that, you know, someone
But is
living.
a shift of power happening a little bit? I mean, I've noticed.
A very good click of two types of creators that have come in. Actors that are really excelling in the OTT space. It's almost like, you know, sport has parallels. कुछ लोग national team में खेलते हैं, कुछ लोग बहुत सारे T20 leagues में खेल रहे हैं. They're doing very well for themselves. They're recognized all over the world. Their talent is being considered. Similarly with OTT and also with YouTube creators and all that, you know, there's another click that's happening. They do not want to be dictated to by the giants of the game, whether it be the producers or whether it be the music labels. I think that clear shift has happened, and I think a lot of people are saying, I don't need you to make me anymore. It's cool. Now we move forward, and I think Indian audiences are so large. Even you got such a strong following now. And proof in the pudding was with your audio podcast also, which is rocketing all over the world. I'm on the same platform, so I know. And you're ahead of me. You're number 3, and I'm number 7.
And I'm feeling sick, and I'm going like, yeah.
Don't feel sick. I think what happens is that people try to lap up more fiction than non-fiction content, especially if it's so meta. That podcast is super meta, you know. That's what gets people hooked, and that's what gets people talking, and it stays in their brains,
No,
etc.
but I'm loving this. The power there's a shift of power that's happened. It's there with you all.
Yeah, yes, Salil, yes, but the dinosaurs of the business are not going to realize that. So, and I don't mean it in a bad way. Dinosaurs are cute. We all love them in Jurassic Park and such. The thing is, they don't know, oh, meteor, and then, you know, you're extinct. So now this meteor is like the pandemic. And it breaks my heart as a person of cinema, who cinema first, always first love, to see that this is happening. Like I see a lot of like older gentlemen like Vivek Vaswani and all talking about this repeatedly. This whole PNA thing, this whole like this shift needs to happen, because what happens is the key difference between an OTT and a film is film may you need a box office, or you
Absolutely.
need that opening weekend, which is what it has been reduced to, like a T20 game. So for that, you need that iski beti, uska beta, villain action, you know, whatever. So that
Correct.
thing needs to be packaged like that, and there needs to be that action and drama. But in OTT, you're alone. It's 12 in the night. You want to feel good. You want to watch somebody who's good and who's going to entertain you. And
Yes.
no matter what happened in the pandemic, artists being called non-essential and all that, when people were alone, they were only turning to artists. So I
True.
feel like we need to understand this. There should be no ego about taking a cue from the brilliant industries of the South and the way they operate, and the way like the film becomes bigger than anybody and things like that. And you know, I'm also grateful to the OTT for giving us actors who it's taken them so long to get their due, whether it's Pratik Gandhi after God knows how many years, whether it's Elawat, who was in gangs. And he was a
Yeah.
hottie. He was a hottie in gangs. People liked him, and hair in that coal
Yeah.
scene. The truth is that now he's getting his due, and the writing is spectacular in OTT.
And even the
So-
comeback of, say,
even not such hero looking people like Sharib Hashmi is doing a lot of work. Shiny Gupta has come in there as well. Manoj Bajpayee's reinvention. You know, he's reinvented his entire career, and I feel very happy. And it's almost like I was rooting for all of us. You know, we were all on the outside. And now when we're up on the chips, I suddenly see such worried faces. मैं बोलता हूँ यार तुम लोग को happy होना चाहिए कि अब अच्छा हो गया ना, pool बड़ा हो गया है. लेकिन नहीं, you're right, they are not totally happy.
They're not happy. Not actually, if they were to use it cleverly, there's no stopping like a big international, like a Netflix or an Amazon or Hotstar, Disney Hotstar, from going after the really, really big stars if they just give up that stardom a little bit. You know what I mean? It's just, if it's just like, I'm seeing Julia Roberts in a show.
Yeah.
Dude, come on. You know, it's happening. And this whole thing I've been hearing for the past 4 years. OTT is the future. OTT is the future. Future से present हो गया, लोगों को पता नहीं चल रहा है. When I
अभी
did
भी
the-
बोल रहे, it might be a fad. I met up with somebody today.
Who's got some, well, I can't say, I mean, who's also a star. And he's saying, this fad, Salil, watch. They can't live without jumping to the theater and having popcorn. And it cannot stay for long. It cannot stay.
So this is their thought
It's very-
still.
I don't know why though.
Yeah.
What is your problem if people are watching shows at home? They will still jump into the halls and eat popcorn and watch your movies. If your movies make sense and they, you know, pull up their socks in terms of writing, अभी कोई वो सब नहीं मानेगा ना, ऐसे मुखौटा उतार के mission change हो गया. तो वो वाला एक reality हम सबको digest करना पड़ेगा कि अभी that in my mind it's so clear. It's been happening. It's so clear. In the 2000s, I was still studying. There was Saas Bahu entry into
Yes.
in the TV space. Okay, that infiltrated every household, and then uska prototype chala. And then there was also KBC, but a lot of middle class educated people were like, I don't know, do you want to watch Nagin? I don't know. You know, the thing is we can't relate to that, right?
Yeah.
So वो तब का एक नीचे shift हो गया. TV viewing habits have changed, right?
Yes.
There is no music TV. There's prototypes of reality shows, toadies, and whatnot. So all those things were happening. Where do people like you and me go,
Yeah.
who are bilingual, who
Yeah.
are traveled, who have exposure, who are watching Narcos and itching to watch a nice thriller in our own language, in our own, you know, which is you. That's what I loved about Candy. This whole folklorish aspect, this morality tied into small town
Yeah.
elders के जंगल में जाके कुची को करोगे तो भूत आ जाएगा. You know, that whole thing.
Yeah.
I really, I'm so proud of, I don't care how they do, and I don't care who judges me and who thinks they're commercial, who thinks they're good. The truth is, I'm proud of both this show and the one that is coming in December, which is called Six Suspects, which is again directed by Tigmanshu Dhulia. It's going to be a casting coup, you know, that one. So I feel
Wow.
like a lot of these directors, Hansal Mehta and Scam, Tigmanshu Dhulia and Six Suspects, I really feel like my heart gets warm for them. I feel so happy when Sudhir Mishra's film, A Serious Man, does well. I just feel like they always knew what they were talking about, what they wanted to make, but the way the business operated and market forces dictating to them what is correct and what not, like, you know, now is more than actors. I think it's their time to shine. They can cast faces they want to cast without somebody saying, oh, ye B market hai, ye C market hai. That hegemony and the gatekeepers are kind of passe. And the sooner they realize it, the better it will be for everyone, because then we can work together, you know, then we can get past it.
Is there revenge monetization happening for all the artists like yourselves that are doing very well now? So you go like, beta, now I'm telling you this is how much I charge. Has that started happening around?
The thing is, it's a good question. No, I have been making money, no doubt. And why not? Why not?
Yeah, of course. No, but because it happens, because a lot of artists
Don't want to make producers eat humble pie or those guys, But they themselves are having to eat humble pie because they never thought ये तो लंबी रेस का घोड़ा निकला.
इस पे तो हमने दाव कभी
Oh
लगाया ही नहीं,
yeah,
ये सोच रही हो.
so many people. Even after from the, I mean, I don't know whether to be insulted or feel happy. I ran into Piyush Mishra at the screening of Happy Bhag Jayegi 2, in which Ali was there
Yeah.
briefly, and he just looked at me. He was like, "Oh, I never thought you'd last this long, and you're actually doing well." And I am sure he meant it nicely. So I was just like, haha, lol for underestimating me and my intelligence. But most people, who come to you and they're like, you were nothing like you were. I'm like, yeah, I was 21 and 22. I was confused and naive and underconfident. Of course, I was nothing like I was back then. And I'm sorry to not have flopped. I mean, I don't think he meant it badly though. I mean, whatever. I mean, sending big love his way, and to anybody. Basically, I just want to say that, uh, like, I don't think of it as revenge money. I actually, Salil, to be honest, last year wrote a huge blog about how the film industry operates, and I will continue to write because, frankly, I don't have much to lose. So in that I had written how I got paid some 2.5 lakhs for some 100 days of work on Gangs of Wasipur, flitting between 18 and 50 and doing my wig and sleeping 4 hours. I said, it's a cult film, right?
Yes.
I took a huge risk with that. Someone somewhere is still milking the dough from
Yeah.
it because I got, and in India, there is no concept of royalties.
Royalties, yeah.
Which is why you read distressing stories about, say, Shagufta ji or Surekha Sikri
Yeah.
saying they need funds for their, treatment. Shouldn't happen. Ideally, it's the largest film industry in the world.
Yeah.
Why can't we get organized and do this? People have, I don't know. I really just don't get it. I don't get what stops them because I know that there will be far fewer suicides, far
Yeah.
less mental health pressure if people were just able to live off the royalty of what they had once
And they should
contributed
be able to
to
because
that.
some people are. It's not like it's
Yeah,
not there. Yeah.
and they're just not sharing it. So this is the thing that I feel like now I don't think of it as revenge money. I just like, oh, it took a long time coming, but here, how? How mere ghar mein barkat lao, barkat. So, and always tell people that there, you know, should be no shame in asking for money, and it's just the kind of payoff you want. Do you want to be that? I mean, for actors today is a really big question. When I first started, it was the question. Do you want to be that glam doll who is like a flash in the pan and for 2 years is super busy doing events, blah, 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 dancing, yay, Dubai, Singapore, blah, 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 and then you're like, oh, married a businessman, becomes first child and gone.
Yeah.
Or do you want to be somebody who is around acting, improving as an actor, and will continue to, be relevant
And
and be
and whose
fantastic.
voice?
Who doesn't stop her voice. No matter how big your chips started to go up, you've never ever changed your narrative about what you think is right and wrong on Twitter, on social media.
It can go against so many
Yeah,
people.
it
It
does.
can
It
be a
does.
very difficult thing to handle.
Yeah, I get a lot of flack for it, and it does get difficult, especially for like, well-meaning, nice, sweet people like managers. They're like, "Mat kaho kuch." But the truth is, I feel like and I mean it nicely, I don't hate people. I don't even hate people I completely disagree with. The only people I hate are murderous, rabid, crazed out losers. And I don't even say I hate them because hate is kind of like obsession. I just have apathy towards them because I think they're self destructive. But having said that, the reason I don't feel fear is because I know I'm like, everyone's thinking this, but they're not saying it because you know I don't know, they have a farm in rural Karnataka where they've declared themselves to be farmers. I don't know. I don't have any such issue. I can tell the truth. And at the same time, I really frown when people compare me to Swara because I think Swara has a completely different strategy. She's from JNU. She's like
Yeah.
clued in. She knows which party to follow, which leader has what antecedents, and she
Yeah.
goes to campaign. So in that also, I'm like, यार यहाँ पे भी stereotype करोगे तुम, क्योंकि you can't make up your mind about somebody who's continuing to do work, doesn't really hate you, doesn't wish you dead, is talking about something that affects us all, like petrol, diesel. Um, so yeah, I mean, I don't know, I don't
No,
have.
but I enjoy your exchanges. It's not just.
A lot of the times I get worked up, suppose, and I don't know how to make it sound nice without me sounding exactly a low life like them. You've never done that. I've always thought, are you able to lower your BP? A lot of people can. You are one of those who's able to Zen mode.
But Salil, thank you for recognizing that, because this is how I normally talk. I rarely get angry. If I've gotten angry, matlab some serious shit has hit the fan and it's splattered all over. So I rarely get angry, but it takes a lot for people to realize that. Maybe because of the bholi image, or maybe because of Twitter, and they just assume me to be this angry, ranty feminist, and I'm totally not that. I'm actually almost coming from a place of love. When I tell somebody that, look, I have money, you're sitting in a village and clicking a DP from a toilet. The plaster behind your head on the wall is peeling. So when you tell me मेरी कोई औकात नहीं है, I will misread that as your anger and envy towards my success and your inability to counter my challenge with logic. Hence, you will get personal. And I just want to tell them that what I'm saying is going to benefit you. If the prices are lower of सरसों का तेल and you're from Bengal, तुम्हें फर्क पड़ेगा ना? तो फिर chances are between you and me and prima facie, you with your 200 following and one follower, I just want to know in which universe you think that मेरी कोई औकात नहीं. And so repeatedly journalists also ask me, but it must hurt you just a little bit if you get trolled, and it's like waking up and hearing people say nasty shit about you. I'm like, yeah, but who's saying it though? Ajay 12345? I don't care about Ajay 12345, who doesn't even have a real name or a face. Get over it. I think that what कभी कभी यार कायनात और दुनिया इतनी अजीब हो जाती है कि कुछ किया नहीं जा सकता, सिर्फ हंसा जा सकता है कि ओह वेल प्लेड गॉड, वी आर इन दिस
नहीं, but मुझे
सिचुएशन.
बहुत एंटरटेनमेंट मिल जाता है क्योंकि एक बहुत स्मार्ट ट्राइब of people have sort of emerged now that do not want to take shit and don't have to fight back with बंदूकें. शब्दों का वार जो है ना इतनी परफेक्टली हिट कर जाता है, उस बंदे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा तो हो क्या रहा होता है.
so I
हाँ,
think this new
अक्सर वो
generation
डिलीट
has
करके
two
चले
demands.
जाते हैं. पर मुझे ये भी लगता है that I think that it is a strategy of the and this is something that decent people always sort of up decent, जिनके माँ बाप ने बोला नहीं बेटा ऐसा नहीं करते, those people हमेशा कहीं ना कहीं मार खा जाते हैं इस मामले में कि someone says something really ओछा छिछोरा नीच घटिया, and you're like, oh my god, I'm not going to dignify that with a response, I'm not going to stoop to your level. I want people to understand that they have precisely stooped to that level because it's a strategy to go low and they force you to go high. When you go high, you don't have a finisher. You're stuck trying to explain yourself. Hey, this is not what I meant. And this is so sometimes I get really caustic in my replies simply for that reason. If you're going to slut shame me about a kissing scene I did in a movie, I might make fun of your receding hairline and say it goes well with a Hitler mustache. What's wrong? It's fair game. And
Absolutely.
this whole like notion that celebrities and cricketers ought to be
Shouldn't
held
fight
to
back.
a higher standard of please, your kids definitely need better role models than actors and cricketers. Please just don't expect just I'm very clear about it. Do not expect. I'm not the mother of your child.
Yeah.
I'm just I'm a rebel without a cause. I am my own child and I will respond how I see fit.
I think this is working. Don't change anything that you're doing. And I think
Even your choice
I
of work
always
is.
love chatting with you because you
It's
get it.
real.
I'm able to have a real discussion. And that's another thing that's also happened. Earlier, I mean, I've sat on this chair and had so many pretentious discussions with so many people because nobody really cares about promoting. एंड कई बार वो आके सिर्फ बात करें क्योंकि उनको बोला है बैठने के लिए, मुझे पैसे मिलने बात करने के लिए, तो मैं बात कर रहा हूँ. दैट इज चेंज इन लास्ट 2 years and I think that I'm very thankful about that. Some people are there that, you know, I'm able to have a conversation with you from the first time I met you. I think it's always been like that. The very first time we met.
Yeah, I mean, I genuinely like, it's not like I didn't try. I have been to a few events where I don't know, tried to be silent and, almost coy. I just feel like that it's too much work. I can't do it. It's not like I've not tried, I'm very honest. I did try. I did, try and be like, oh, how are you? Just didn't work, yeah. It did not work. Not for me, not for the other person who's like, the usual. Have you seen that embarrassed smile gif? Like,
Yeah.
that's the most common reaction I would get if I would just walk up to somebody and be like, oh, how are you? So I just gave it up, man. I was like, this is bad advice.
It's like the Diwali and birthday wishes out of the 700 people you don't remember. Hi, happy birthday.
Yeah.
I don't want to reply.
Yeah.
Thanks. And that's
Yeah.
it. It's over.
I don't even get the deal about the birthday. Everybody has one.
Yeah.
But
It's
har
because
saal
of
aata hai.
Facebook. Suddenly, Facebook starts telling you, so you feel pressured to maybe send a message across. And then the person wants to
I'm not.
write that message saying, thank you for the overflowing love that came pouring in. Because otherwise, nobody really gives a shit about you. So you spend 200 messages reading. So I think that again has also happened a lot in the last 2 years where people feel the need to connect and stay connected. Earlier, it wasn't there.
Yeah, they also must be like, let's just talk to them. God knows when they'll die. वो भी है, sorry for the dark.
That's true, but unfortunately.
Such तो है.
But thanks for doing this as usual. You're looking lovely, by the way. I didn't say at the beginning, but this looks really cute.
I'm really well rested. Like I said, I'm spending my time in intellectual pursuits. Earlier, I would get a shoddy script and be like, October to November छुट्टी है, घुसा लेते हैं. No, एक निपटा लेते हैं आउटडोर में, हो जाएगा, फिर एडिट पे देखेंगे. Having stabbed myself like that several times, I'm like, no man, I'll write something cool, I'll produce something cool and do it.
I can't wait to see you become boss lady. Thanks, darling, for doing this with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. And yeah, it's almost like a lounge atmosphere with Richa. We sit together, we chill, and we chat about so many things. And not all of it is politically correct or correct for the industry, but she is as she is, no filter. And that's what I love it. I'll see you guys soon. Take care and bye-bye.